back again. Who would have thought? If you're new or relatively new or just anyone who needs a refresher, I have been working on a book called Project Gas Station. That's not what it's really called, but that's fine. It doesn't have a title. It lives nameless. Nameless is my price. Throne of Glass Girlies get it. Anyway. Okay, but I've been fast drafting that book, and as of the last vlog, I did finish the first draft of that. So that one is off in a corner, thinking about what it's done. And in the meantime, it is time for me to return to Project Groove. The last time I left that project was when I did a 5-part revision series. So if you want to see like, oh, what is this book? Ooh, I do have a playlist on every writing vlog that's about this book. Essentially, it has gone through 2 drafts, and then beta readers, and then a draft after beta readers. And now I'm picking it up again after not really touching it since October. I hope to query this book in February, March, one of the months, not January. What I'm gonna do this week, a dialogue and a sentence level pass. But I'm going to read through it with fresh eyes. I've now written an entire other first draft of a book since looking at this book, so hopefully I have some good fresh perspective. Well, I haven't actually done a line level pass of this book before, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm gonna do a line level pass of the chapter. This is the last pass before I'm sending it to its final round of beta readers. And when I say final, that's maybe I'll have 5 other rounds. I have no idea, but my plan is I'm gonna send it to a group of betas, and if they don't find any problems with it, I'm talking like big plot problems, I'll correct whatever feedback they have and then kind of see if I feel like it's ready. But the plan is do this pass, beta readers, and then apply any feedback and then do 3 or 4 copy edit passes and then get it ready for querying. Now that I'm so close to querying, or I think I am, maybe I'll be biting my words in a month, but now that I'm so close to where I think the book is going to be ready, it's a lot more nerve-wracking to look at it because I had this fear opening it of like, what if I open it and it's all garbage, you know? Because I've been so used to seeing this first shitty draft of NaNoWriMo project where it's just like gross words. And so I'm used to looking at that and not worrying about it, but I was actually very relieved when I went into this project and I was like, oh, I actually maybe can write, like, these paragraphs make sense, like, shocking to everyone. But it was so strange to go into something that felt so polished because I mean, this is draft 4 of this book now. So yeah, draft 4, that's where we are. I have the prologue transferred over, and it wasn't even that it was bad, but it was just reminding me of this phase that I'm getting into where if I want to be querying soon, like I have to think about it in such a high pressure way. Like for most of the process, I'm not thinking about the book as like, oh my gosh, everything needs to be perfect, you know? Or like good, or every sentence needs to have purpose, and every like scene and every character and every beat and every minute of that book needs to like make sense and be cohesive and be good and have the right sentence pacing and the right paragraph pacing. I haven't had that pressure on the manuscript until now, and I always save it because it's exhausting to have that kind of pressure on a manuscript every draft that you're writing. And so I'm really glad that I've done it the way that I have. And again, it's not that what I'm seeing on the page is bad, but then I just think about every querying a piece of advice video I've ever seen where they like just tear apart everything, going into especially the first couple chapters with these eyes of like, is this paragraph good? Is this sentence good? Is that blah, 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 blah? Like just so fine-tuned. I think that's why I'm hesitating a little bit, but it's inevitable that there's going to be changes from the beta readers. So it's like, do I wait to do this intensive a pass until after that? Line level is just, has a space I have not been in a while. I have not line edited a book in a while. So that's just kind of where we are. Hi. Happy Saturday. I'm about 30 pages transferred over now. I think coming back after reading a lot and fully writing an entire other book, which is wild coming back after that, it has given me a lot of clarity as to like, no, you already did cover that. This is not necessary. This is hitting it too hard. I really hit things too hard, or I don't mention them at all. Like I really struggle with that balance of like mentioning something subtly, because I never think it's subtle enough, or I either think it's too subtle or it's not subtle enough. I don't know. Moral of the story is it's easier than I thought to identify. Like it's very intuitive. As I'm reading, I'm like, oh, yep. Like I'm very certain. Like I make changes and I was like, yeah, that was a good decision. And I have realized I haven't been able to write outside of my apartment or outside of a place that I am living or staying since before NaNoWriMo. And so I think I'm really going to capitalize on that. It's a snowy day. I've been spending a lot of time either at work or at my apartment, and that's fine. I'm a homebody, but I'm thinking I'm going to cafe hop today, which I don't really do that. So we'll see how that goes. But the ultimate goal is not to cafe hop. The ultimate goal is to get far in this book. I've said this about this book before, but I think not even issue, but the struggle that I think I'm gonna have is that the last half is 100% a thriller. But the first half, there's thriller things happening, but it's not as much. And so I'm really trying to figure out how to bring that thriller energy of the last, I would say 2/3 of the book into the first part and really tighten up the beginning so that the action starts happening sooner, or at least the intrigue and the mystery starts happening more presently sooner. Because there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of character development that needs to happen right at the beginning. And so I think I want to find that balance. Hey, sorry if you hear some like construction noises. The plow is going through right now and it sounds like World War III is happening, but that's okay. So yeah, I've just come back from just spending time with family for the holidays. I sometimes feel like I come back from things like that where I haven't written in a couple, like 5 days, which is fine, like truly it's fine. And I haven't been doing all the normal things that I do. Like I haven't been cleaning regularly and I haven't been writing or doing videos or like doing my puzzle, like anything regularly. It's so like, it's a transition to come back. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a list of all the things I'd like to do this week or I'd like to work on this week. I'm past the midpoint. I'm just right past the midpoint in Project Groove. And so I told people that I could get it to them this week. But I mean, it's not like a huge deal. I just said sometime next week. So it's not like it needs to be today, but I'd like to finish it today. But here's the problem, okay? Because I decided I'm adding this sort of lettery element. I was brainstorming on my way home, like what I want that to look like. And so I think I'm going to, once I'm done with the read through, figure out exactly where, like identify how many different excerpts do I need. Because it's kind of like it would be a sort of little plot by itself. I feel like there's a lot of thrillers that do this where it's like maybe a string of emails, right? And they're going throughout the book. And then it's not like a major plot point, but you learn a little bit more with each email. And then by the big climax of the book, some pivotal part of the email. See, here's the problem is I actually skip a lot of those, which is bad. Like, especially in thriller or in fantasy, like if you're writing like excerpt from a journal, blah, 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 I'm not reading it. I'm not, sorry. So I just need to figure out what that is, where it goes, and then write it today and do a whole copy edit Okay, well, we better get moving then. So here's some tips for the day that I noticed. If you write on Google Docs and listen, I write drafts in Scrivener, but when I share with people, Google Docs is just the easiest thing. And when I was doing the first half of this book, I realized I'm on chapter 17 and there's 24 technical chapters in this book. Like currently there's 27 chapters. Did I say 24? I'm on chapter 14 and there are 27 chapters, which means I'm over halfway, but just barely. And so during the first half of editing this book, staring at the blinding white of Google Docs, the white of Google Docs, even if my brightness is literally all the way down, is like blinding my eyes to the point where they become like crisp little husks. And when I take my contacts out, they're like dry. So I was trying to find like, oh, let me go to settings. Let me turn it to dark mode. Little did I know that dark mode on Google Docs was going to be the most difficult thing in the world to find. When I tell you, I searched, I scoured the internet. I tried every setting in Drive. I downloaded Drive onto my computer. I tried downloading Docs onto no, none of it worked. And then I looked up, and you have to download an extension onto your browser to get dark mode of Google Docs. Why is it so difficult? Why is it not, oh, let me go to settings and let me turn it to dark mode? Why is that difficult? Was it hard? Google, get it together, frankly. Anyway. Hi everyone, let me walk you through my day. This is one of those tasks that really just takes so much longer than I think it's going to. In my head, this has been done for weeks, but I'm not done. This happens to me sometimes. I don't know. I always revise chronologically. So I start at the beginning and I have all this energy and I'm taking it really slow and I'm just doing it here and there and I'm like really thinking about everything. And then I get halfway through and I'm like, finish the book, you know? I get really like, oh, I can finish it today. Like I get like that a lot actually. And I hit Act 2, Part 2, shockingly enough, which is always a menace to me. And it's mostly good, but there's one chapter that I think started the downfall. I don't even know if it could be counted as a chapter. There's no framing to it. Here's this happened and I'm talking about this in my head for a second and halfway through we're in a phone call, but we never established that we were on the phone. Just kind of a mess. And then, backing up, once I finish that, then I'm going to do some big brain energy, figuring out things. Figure out what the narrative is going to be for this little letter. I'm going to figure out what that is and figure out where in the book am I doing it at every chapter? Am I doing it at certain points? Like, how does that work? I'm going to maybe study a couple other books that have that and see what they do, see what I can get away with. Figure that out. And then what I'll do is I will write that. This is all happening today, I guess. I feel like I'm in a groove though. Anyway, Project Groove, get it? Are we together? Are you with me? Am I going to read through the whole thing again? I'm gonna read it through again, starting from the midpoint, because it's right after the midpoint. I always feel like I have a pacing issue right after the midpoint because I want there to be a denouement, but I want to keep the reader intrigued and I want to keep things rolling, but there's also so much information that I need to establish. Exploding! Anyway, okay, so let's go through it one more time, shall we? Finish read through of this book. That's gonna take all day. Hopefully not. That's gonna be before dinner. After dinner, actually, okay, I think before dinner also, I'm gonna finish the read through. One more time from the beginning, everyone. So, finishing the read through, and then I'm also going to structure out what the heck this little element is, right? Gonna eat dinner. After that, I'm going to write out the transcript and insert that, okay? I forgot. Oh, slay. She ate that. She ate that up. I'm just... Thursday morning, and you might be thinking, Alyssa, like, remember yesterday when you said you were going to do all that stuff? Like, did you do it? Sort of. I for sure finished the copy edit of the whole, like, I reached the end. Oh no. Am I sick? This morning, I'm going to run to a coffee shop. I still have this odd hope that I'll be able to send this to a printer today, but, and by a printer, I mean like Office Max, like that's what I mean by a printer. Is Office Max a thing around the world, or is it just in the Midwest? Anyway, so what I'm going to do at the coffee shop is I'm going to write all of the, well, first I'm going to look at like what, like at a high level, what is each email going to be or message? And then I'm going to write all of the messages. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do this morning. And then it's already 9 though. And here's the thing, you'll notice, like throughout this whole video, I guess, I haven't even started editing this monster of a video that I thought was gonna be like 3 different videos, like the span of time that I'm recording this in. But I've thought I'm gonna be done with this so many different times. Like I was like, oh, last Friday, I'll for sure be done with it by Friday. Oh, I'll for sure be done with it by Tuesday. I'll for sure be done with it by, but it's, I'm not feeling discouraged when those dates pass and I haven't done it, because it's not like it's months and months of doing nothing. Like, it's just good to set those goals so that I'm working towards something. And I always feel like, even now, I feel like there was a possibility that I could have done it by yesterday. Like that was doable. That wasn't an unrealistic goal. But what it did was, because it wasn't unrealistic, it made me actually like work as though I was going to do it. And so then when I got to the end of the day and I hadn't finished it, it was like, okay, well, I'll for sure finish it tomorrow, and look how much I got done, you know?
Hello. So, okay, I've done a really poor job in this vlog. I'm just really vlogging, but for good reason. I finished up. I think it's good. I think it's fine. It's at that point where it's like, I've just looked at it too much, and so I keep thinking everything's wrong. Also, I got sick, but I did get my prints. Office Depot same-day delivery. Why do some of them look like they're a different size? Boom. I just love to see them like this. I'm gonna go drop these off like Santa Claus. I have 3 readers. One of them's my mom. Merry Christmas. Sorry, I'm gonna